so excited to pick up Jericho. Every year we go shopping for the annual Thomas Festival. Really, it was just last year, but this year I'm going to go shopping with him, and I'm so excited. I'm here to pick him up. Come on in, Jericho.
I killed him, and you're next.
This is not what I expected. This is not what I wanted. Not what I wanted.
I'm already seatbelted. We gotta go now.
You are my nemesis.
That's too bad.
This is Thomas Talk. Hello and welcome back to Thomas Talk, and it is almost 1 week from when Journey Beyond Sodor was released on DVD, which means that everyone in North America now has access to it digitally and physically. The United Kingdom is still waiting on it, although you have it in theaters for a while, which is something we don't get, so that's good for you. We're going to talk a little bit about Journey Beyond Sodor and where it leads the franchise in the future, but first, like I promised you last week, I take a trip to Walmart and I bring a friend along with me. Josh rides again. It's time for us to hit the road with a friend to go off to Walmart. We're on a journey. Who are you?
I am Jack.
This is Jack.
Yeah. I've been friends with Josh for 3 years. One of which was just as an acquaintance.
One of which was a disappointment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And then 2 of which as best buds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jack, do you know what I've roped you into today, what we're doing?
Yeah. We're buying a train.
Just
piece.
a train? We're just buying a train?
It's
That's an expensive investment, Jack.
It's a new train model of the Thomas line of toys.
Maybe.
Question mark?
We'll see how good the toys are for this one. This is, every year, they do a special to pretty much keep the franchise alive. They do an hour-long special. This is going to be the first year where it's 70 minutes instead of 60 minutes.
Wow.
And
they're stepping up their game.
They are. And it's called Journey Beyond Sodor.
Is Sodor like the Thomas World Mordor?
Yes.
Okay.
Journey Beyond Sodor. What do you think Journey Beyond Sodor could be about, Jack?
The only thing I can think of is some sort of Thomas the Train spin-off of Lord of the Rings.
Did you used to watch Thomas as a kid, Jack?
No, but I did play with the train set when I was younger.
Do you remember the characters' names?
There's Thomas.
Yes.
There's a red one.
Name everyone you know.
Thomas. There's one that's always really angry, and I think that's the red one.
What?
And then, isn't there one that's old?
They're all old. I mean, Thomas is over 100 years old.
Wow, he should retire.
But we're coming up to the red light now. So that means that it's time for the cash cap.
It's time for a red light challenge.
Red light challenge, Jack.
Okay.
What is the name of the station on the island of Sodor, now that we know, that separates the island from the mainland?
Yeah, good one. Give me a hint. What's it rhyme with?
Well, it starts with, I guess, what the name of a religious figure could be.
What? Jesus Bridge? I have no idea.
Well, it's called Vickerstown.
How is Vickers a religious figure?
Vicar.
What's Vicar?
Oh my goodness.
I'm not very religious.
Oh my goodness, Jack. Neither am I.
Oh.
But so we're still at the red light. Here's another challenge. What is one of Thomas's favorite catchphrases?
The little Thomas that could.
If you were a Thomas train, what would your catchphrase be?
I'm a train. Choo-choo. Because I can't talk.
Well, that's okay. So this special, like last year's special, The Great Race, is also a musical.
Okay.
Do you know the Thomas theme tune?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you want to sing it together? Jericho wasn't very good at it last
I don't
year.
know what the start is. I just
ready?
know like the main tune.
No, like the new one.
Oh, I don't know the new one.
Well, do you want to sing it with me anyways? Just follow my lead.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
There's 2, there's 4, there's 6, there's 8.
There's 2, there's 4,
No,
there's
sing
6.
it with me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shunting trucks and hauling freight. Red and green and brown and blue. They're the really useful crew. Just pick it up. Come on.
Wait, just pick it up. How am I?
Just come on. What's the one that you do know?
Bum 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 bum.
Bum 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 bum.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Dear. So now they're changing the Thomas show. You know that the Thomas show is centered on Sodor. Now you know it's called Sodor, and the trains all stay on that island. Now they're making
Vickers
it.
Island. Vickers.
Well, no, that's the station.
Oh, Vickers Station.
They are now making. They're changing the show.
Okay.
So that it's no longer staying on Sodor. The show will be about Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt traveling the world.
Sir Topham Hatt. Traveling the world.
Yes.
Like real places.
Yes, and learning about different cultures by meeting different engines.
That sounds like a great format for stereotypes.
Do you like this idea for the show?
Oh, I think it's a good idea. I just think that it can go wrong really
Because
quick.
it's very different.
Or right. I mean, if you're a fan of offensive comedy, you know.
Okay, so we have arrived at Walmart successfully.
We did it. Bum, 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 bum,
Are you
bum, bum.
ready to go shopping for what's the special? What's the name of the movie you're about to get?
Did you tell me already?
Yes.
Crap. Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt journey around the world. Around the world in 80 days.
You got the journey part right. I think that's enough.
Okay.
Let's go in. Oh, Jack, look.
What?
It's the enemy.
Sorry?
Paw Patrol.
Gross.
It's the enemy.
This sounds like good furry bait. This isn't supposed to be here.
See?
Oh,
Oh,
this
they've
is it.
raised the price every year.
I was close.
That's what
the
they
name,
do.
right?
Around the world in 80 days. No. Look, for $79.97, you can get some Thomas bath toys.
Wow. That can't be the price.
It's a deal. Look at this. Isn't this good fun?
Is it just me or have most kids' toys gotten like significantly weirder over the last couple of years? Like,
What do you mean?
they used to be like so generic so you could use your imagination, but now they've gotten so like niche and specific.
Those are DC Super Friends.
The Riddler and Robin and whoever that is. Percy. Now I know a name. Oh, this is my chance to learn.
Yes,
Is this the actual team?
they have their names on the back.
James, Flynn, Millie, Ironbert, Sydney, Ferdinand, Troublesome Truck. Why does that one not have a human name? Is he like the dog of the train world?
Yes, actually, that is a pretty good explanation.
Do
What?
you believe in that?
Jack, that was actually
It went in.
that was
Okay.
actually really good.
It went in. Oh.
What did we buy, Jack?
We bought a movie,
What is it called?
Journey Beyond Sodor.
There we
I did
go.
it.
Journey Beyond Sodor, everyone.
Thomas and Friends.
Yes, it came out on DVD today. Today is August 22nd. And this is the earliest set of Thomas specials that have ever been released. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at the goodness.
Wow.
Aw, fun times on the island of Sodor.
So we got Thomas, James, and Henrietta.
That's not Henrietta, no. That's a new character, so I'll forgive you on that one.
Oh.
Their name is Frankie.
Is it a guy or a girl? Or female tank?
Girl.
Or...
This is Lexi.
Okay.
This is Merlin. Merlin thinks he can go invisible.
Okay.
And this one, guess his name.
Steampunky. Steam man.
Does it say here? No, it doesn't. His name is Theo.
Oh. Wow.
We know someone named Theo.
Yeah. We should tell him that there's a train named after
We'll
him.
watch it with him.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love that.
Do you want to watch Journey Beyond Sodor with me, Jack?
I would not be thrilled, and you'd have to put up with me making fun of the movie the whole time.
Okay, then I won't watch Journey Beyond Sodor.
Don't hit the kid.
Sure. Just walk across.
What did they buy?
Don't take any. Looks like a book.
What is that?
Jack, I'm gonna take you for dinner now.
Oh, it's chess.
Thank you, Jack, for coming with me to buy Journey Beyond Sodor.
No problem.
I'm going to go home and watch this alone because you won't watch it with me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not acceptable. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon, I guess.
Still very bright.
Oh, the brightness is killing me.
Bye.
Thanks again to Jack for agreeing to come on my journey to Walmart with me. I know I kind of roped you into it. I don't know if you enjoyed yourself, but I certainly enjoyed myself. And you definitely were a great guest to have with me on that little adventure. Now, there's no news this week, so we're just going to jump straight into talking about Journey Beyond Sodor, which turns out to be a bit of a different special in previous years because there's a lot that it signifies. For more, let's take a sidetrack. Journey Beyond Sodor is and always will be a significant film in the Thomas & Friends franchise because it's kind of a transition from what we've seen in the last few years into what we're going to be seeing in the coming years. The biggest change that you will see to the show in this movie is, of course, that the engines and trucks now bounce, very similar to how they did in Chuggington and Underground Ernie, both of which, by the way, are no longer in production because they failed. Now, they've been trying to revamp the show, I guess, because Mattel's sales are plummeting, their stock is going down, something is up, and they're turning to the show to make changes, and I don't think that focus is necessarily the right place for it to be. Now, I'm not going to be talking a lot about Journey Beyond Sodor here. I'm going to be talking more so about the toys in the franchise and all the other products that tie into it. But what I will say is that I thoroughly enjoyed Journey Beyond Sodor. The story was very strong. The characters were brilliant. The music wasn't as great in terms of the lyrical stuff as A Great Race. The background music written by Chris Renshaw was brilliant, but the lyrical music was definitely better in The Great Race. I did like We Can't Do Anything and Tom Says I Want to Go Home song. Those were definitely the two good ones in the special. But the Has to Be the Favorite song and the Who's Thomas song are still kind of iffy on me. The animation, you do notice that they have toned down the rendering a lot of 2D planes as scenery, and a lot of missing shading that we've seen in the past. But hopefully that's something that we'll see introduced back into the show now that they have a bit more time to work on it. But Journey Beyond Sodor was really good. It was better than The Great Race, even though I liked The Great Race. Brought me back to lots of feelings that I used to have about Thomas specials that I didn't have these last few years. So I really enjoyed it. If you want me to talk more about it, I will in a future episode. But right now, I want to talk about the state of the franchise. As I mentioned last week, Mattel isn't doing so well, and that's prompting them to recreate the Thomas brand and turn it into something that it's never been before. To repeat myself, they're going to make Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt travel the world from season 22 onwards, which is an interesting idea, but it's being done to compete with a show that's come over and just taken over every bit of territory, and that's Paw Patrol. Now, I think Mattel is doing the right thing and kind of reshaping the franchise to compete, but I think they're doing it in all the wrong places because the show is actually the one thing that the Thomas brand has that still works for everyone. A camera guy at work, he has a daughter who absolutely loves Thomas and loved every episode of season 20. The show worked so well, but the daughter also really likes Paw Patrol and is a big fan of Paw Patrol and has a lot more Paw Patrol toys than Thomas toys, even though they watch it on TV equally. Now, I think that says a lot. The show works. Season 20, I think we can all agree, was a pretty good balance of everything. It was the perfect season for all fans, young and old. The show is fine as it is. Don't touch the show. The problem is your toys. Your shelf space is declining and being taken up by Paw Patrol. And kids are more interested in Paw Patrol toys than Thomas toys. Now, why is that? Why are kids suddenly more interested in Paw Patrol toys than Thomas toys? Well, because they cut costs on Thomas toys, so they're not as great as they once were. And the one that keeps coming to mind is Trackmaster. That used to be such a popular range. It really, really was. And then they changed it. And now it's not as popular. They changed the tracks so that they're so cheap and thin that they actually bend up when they're sitting flat on the ground. The sets aren't designed nicely. It's just, there's a lot that went missing when they changed it over. That was a complete oversight. That completely lost the magic of what Trackmaster was, because they turned from Blue Track to Trackmaster without a problem. No one really complained because Trackmaster was awesome. The remote control Thomas at Tidmouth Shed set is still probably one of the most iconic pieces of Thomas toys that I own. It was a great set, and everyone loved Trackmaster. I remember very well in grade 6. I actually brought my entire Trackmaster collection to school, like all the tracks, all the trains and everything. And the teacher allowed me to take a period up to just let everyone play with the Thomas Trackmaster toys, because I kind of wanted them to see where I was coming from for liking Thomas, because not a lot of people understood it. And I think we actually ended up taking 2 periods to play with the Thomas Trackmaster because everyone wanted to play with it. No one wanted to get their hands off it. And from that point on, I actually don't think a lot of people made fun of me for liking Thomas. I think it kind of declined because everyone had such a good time playing with Trackmaster. And that's something I remember so well. And that is not something I can work with the new Trackmaster range. And I think the reason why is because it's the sets and the tracks. One of the greatest things about the old Trackmaster was that the sets could go with each other very well. You could make your own customizable track very easily, and all the pieces worked with each other. Now this new Trackmaster, the sets are very stuck within themselves. Like you can't take a set and put it with another set easily, or add on to the set, make a different layout, because it's all set there in stone. You're pretty much told how you're going to make this set, and there's nothing else you can really do. They add a switch track, so that if you want to build off on your own, but that set has to stay like it is for it to work. And that's not really what kids want. Kids want to be able to build the biggest track ever and do whatever they want, make the longest train ever. And when their sets don't even support trains with more than one car. And I think that's where the new Trackmaster's gone, is that the sets don't go well together. You can't create a Trackmaster Thomas world like you used to be able to. And they don't work with more than one car, and they don't work with every train, and they lost that compatibility with itself. And that, I think, is where the range has majorly gone wrong. Now, they've been doing this since 2014, but why now is it suddenly taking a dip? Well, because Paw Patrol came in around that time, and I guess Thomas Trackmaster was doing okay for a while after the change, but then Paw Patrol really started to hit it, and now it's pretty much completely taken over the shelf space. And I think the best way to talk about Paw Patrol versus Thomas Trackmaster is to look at what you can get for the same price. Now, I've done that research, and I've gone on toysrus.ca, and I found a Paw Patrol set right here. Now, this has a website price of $49.97, but the regular price is $70. So if you're in the store, that's what you're going to be paying. So I'm going off of that price, not the website price, $70. This is the Launch and Roll Lookout Tower track set, and it actually looks pretty cool. And then I also went on with the same budget of $70 and found this Trackmaster 2 Thomas's Volcano Drop Set, $72.99, which is about $3 more than $69.99. So, these are the two that are competing. So why are more people buying this rather than this? And I think, well, just look at this. Look at the Paw Patrol one. Look at the tracks. The tracks, they're not bending up when you put them flat on the ground. They look like they connect together pretty easily. Actually, looking at this set, it actually kind of makes me want to buy it. Because it looks like a great starter set. And what's so great about it is that you can take any one of those pieces and add it on to a custom creation of your own. And it's just like it's giving you pieces to create your own world, I think is the best way to put it. And that is, I think, the brilliance of this set and why more people are buying it as compared to this, the Volcano Drop set. I mean, if you look at most of the pieces on this set, I think there's like 2 or 3 straight tracks, a switch, a buffer, and a curve that can be used in other sets. Most of the set is bound to itself. I mean, where can you take those spiral pieces and just put in the middle of your own set? You can't. It's hard to create your own world. You're bound to this when you buy this set. When you buy Paw Patrol, you can do whatever you like. You can build on with other sets, make it a figure 8, take the bridge, put it somewhere else. This one, the Thomas, is stuck to itself. And I think when you read the reviews for these sets, the Paw Patrol has a 4 out of 5 star average. This one has 3.7 out of 5 average. I mean, just read the reviews and you'll see my points really come out here. Now, here's a 5-star review to the Paw Patrol set, which there seem to be a lot more of than the Thomas set. This review says that he can use all of his Paw Patrol cars in it, and they can even take it outside and play with it in the sand. This other review says that it's easy to set up and durable for all the play. This one says pairs well with the train station. The 1-star ones really only complain about how the launcher doesn't work as well as they were hoping. But I think they're hitting the key points. The 5-star ones works well with other sets, durable, easy to set up. I think that's really all it is. Now we look at the 5-star reviews for the Thomas set. Really, the only thing they're praising it for is that the Thomas steams and lights up. And even on a 4-star review, it mentions that some other engines are falling from tracks, and if I add a tender to an engine, it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Then we go to the 1-star reviews, and they say, so flimsy it makes it hard to put together. This review, titled Cheap, Thin, Flimsy Plastic Tracks, mentions, we quickly realized how cheaply made this product is. The tracks are thin, not sturdy, and move under the weight of the train. This review is titled Very Disappointing compared to earlier Trackmaster styles, and says this newer Fisher-Price style doesn't allow for any creativity. You set up the track and that's that. One person even received this toy missing the Thomas train. Now, if that doesn't reinforce what I've been saying, I don't know what does. You need to be able to take a set and make it your own. And you can't do that with the new Thomas Trackmaster. You can with Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol, for the same price, you feel like you're getting higher quality products. The tracks aren't flimsy. The cars feel sturdy. You can take it and play with it in the sand. This, everyone's commenting about how cheap it feels. $72.99, and you think it feels cheap? That's an expensive price for a toy. The toys are your issue, not the show. Don't touch the show. Don't throw the blame on Andrew Blenner or Jam-Filled. Throw it on yourselves. You've done this. You've done this to the toys. The toys are your problem. Because I'm telling you right now, kids know the difference between this and this. This has been a sidetrack. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Thomas Talk. We'll see you all next time.